under the pale light of a hospital ward, where silence lingers heavier than the weight of machines, where the curtains move not by wind but by the sigh of tired breaths, there sits a soul dressed in white linen, a man whose name has traveled farther than the desert winds, Fazza. But here, he is not a crown prince, not a rider of horses, not the poet whose words climb walls of hearts. Here, he is only a man, wounded not by arrows of war, but by arrows of fate, pierced not by spears, but by the silence of love broken. The hospital bed cradles him as though it has become not just a resting place, but a witness, a keeper of secrets, a courtroom where love was sentenced to depart, and divorce became a silent verdict written across the tears he does not show. He stares into the ceiling, but the ceiling becomes sky, and the sky becomes memory. He remembers days of laughter, when falcons soared and horses carried his dreams into the horizon. He remembers nights when poetry flowed like rivers, when hearts beat like drums in harmony. But memory has sharp edges, and now those rivers cut like blades. Those drums echo like distant thunder, announcing storms he cannot calm. His lips tremble not with fever but with the weight of words unsaid, promises unkept, prayers unanswered. In that bed, his mind writes verses no paper can hold. He wonders if love was only a mirage, shimmering over desert sands, beautiful yet untouchable. Was his heart too tender, or was fate too cruel? The divorce papers may be hidden outside these walls, but the real witness is this bed, the sheets that hold his restless tossing, the pillows that soak silent tears, the air that tastes of unspoken grief. A hospital, built for healing, has become a gallery of heartbreak. He whispers to himself, but the whisper is poetry. If love is a bird, why did it leave its nest? If marriage is a fortress, why did its walls fall? If hearts are made to endure, why does mine fracture with every breath? The beeping machines echo back, cold, indifferent, yet steady, reminding him that life continues even when love collapses. The nurses walk by, unaware that the man they tend is not just a patient but a poet drowning in his own lines. His 4 drips not only medicine but also time, each drop reminding him that healing of the body is easier than healing of the heart. He thinks of her, the one whose smile once lit his darkest nights. He thinks of vows exchanged like pearls, now shattered like glass across a marble floor. Divorce was not signed on paper. It was carved into his veins, etched into his silence. The hospital walls hear him, and if walls could speak, they would recite his sorrow. They would say, "Here lies a prince who fought wars of the heart and lost. Here lies a poet who gave the world verses but could not save his own rhyme. Here lies a man who was loved by many, yet abandoned by the one he longed for most." But Fazza, even in pain, does not surrender his pen. In the quiet corridors of the hospital where the air is heavy with the scent of antiseptic and silence, where machines hum like mechanical hearts and the walls echo with footsteps of strangers, there lies a man who once carried the desert on his shoulders, who once turned the winds into verses, who once made the horizon bend beneath the rhythm of his horses. He lies not as a prince, not as a ruler, not as the rider of falcons, but as a man stripped to his most human self, clothed in white sheets, bound by the weight of grief that no crown can lighten. His eyes are open, but they do not look at the walls. They look through them, into a world only he can see, a world of memories and broken vows, a world where love once sang and now silence screams. The bed beneath him is no ordinary bed. It has become the witness of his heart's trial, the courtroom where his marriage was sentenced, where his soul pleaded guilty to the crime of love. Divorce did not need papers, did not need pens or judges. It was written in the space between 2 souls who no longer touched, in the nights that stretched cold between him and her, in the silence heavier than storms. The bed listened to every breath, every turning in the night, every whisper of prayer that escaped his trembling lips. It knows what the world does not know, that a poet's deepest verses are not written with ink but with the ache of his veins. He remembers her face as if painted by light, the softness of her laughter, the way her eyes were once a haven where his storms found peace. He remembers the promises, the forever carved between their palms, the vows spoken under stars that now feel like lyres, twinkling in mockery above his sleepless nights. How could something so eternal turn so fragile? How could love, mighty as the desert sun, vanish like the mirage it always warned him of? He asks himself these questions not with bitterness, but with the sorrow of a child who lost a treasure he thought unbreakable. The machines beside him tick and beep, uncaring, marking time with ruthless indifference. They heal his body, but nothing can heal his spirit. Nurses walk past him, kind and gentle, but they cannot touch the place inside where his poetry bleeds. For a poet's wound is invisible. It is carved beneath the ribs, where words grow heavy and tears hide behind pride. His crown lies elsewhere, his responsibilities wait outside. But in here, he is simply a man learning how fragile hearts can be. He closes his eyes and the hospital walls disappear. He is back in the desert, where the dunes rise like golden waves, where the sky stretches endlessly, where falcons answer his call and horses thunder with freedom. In his vision she is there, walking beside him, her veil trailing in the wind, her laughter mixing with the air. But dreams are cruel lovers. They disappear at dawn. When he opens his eyes, there is only the ceiling above, pale and sterile, a canvas too empty for the colors of his memories.